Yeah.
We saw Domino on a walk today.
Yeah.
She would sit and then she would get up, and I corrected her twice. And then she sat.
Good. She hold it then?
Yeah, but not that I should probably carry her and be like, it doesn't matter. When she knows she's in trouble, she'll face the other direction. So she's like, okay, I can't even look.
Can't look.
Can't even look at you. Domino was jumping on Megan anyway.
Even when she saw the dog that she nipped the other way, we saw him yesterday.
Yeah, she faced the other way.
She faced the other way, and she's like,
all right.
So, again, my biggest concern is that she is fine.
Yeah.
There is no growl like what we see.
Yeah, we talked about this last time.
It's just 0 to 100. So there is no like, oh, stop it before it happens. Now, if she's too
No,
excited,
it's not a stop it before it happens thing. You know, it's a just catch it the second it happens. You know.
which was what I did.
You know, I understand. Yeah.
But that's too late.
But it's not.
But Milo got bit.
Yeah, but you did, but you didn't. You know what I mean? Like in that scenario, right?
Like nobody ended up real hurt.
Well, no. What I'm getting at is you kind of caught it right when it happens. Like you still weren't like expecting it to happen, so you weren't complete. Listen, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody here.
I'm pointing fingers.
I'm pointing fingers at both of you guys right now.
scorekeeper.
Yeah. So regardless, right? Like you kind of caught it right when it happened. If you were sitting there and it's like e-collar was set all the way up and they're playing and then it's like boom, she goes, nope, bam, right? That would have been catching it right when it happens. That's not what happened, right?
Okay.
So
like when she's like playing, like Charlie is energetic, would it be like smart of us to like have her take like a little break every now and then, and when they're like getting to whatever, be like, hey, like come, like let her calm herself down a little
No, I
bit.
understand.
Let her hear how she plays and then send it.
So here's the thing, right? So you could do that. The problem is if you do it, but the other dog is still like all in her face, that can actually make it worse.
Well, that's I think what. So Milo thought he was done.
Yep.
He came. He kind of recalled her. Then Milo went for another lap. So then they started playing again.
Yep. Which is why 9 out of 10 times I try to just like, I let it go until it simmers down on its own a little bit, or I step in and I intervene and correct both dogs if possible to get them both to chill out a little bit, you know? But I don't think you need to, I mean, you could just let them play and just watch it, you know?
Watch it.
Just watch it. So that's what we're going to do again today.
I'm going to try to.
You going to be okay this time?
Oh my God.
Did you play with the Great Dane?
We actually may use him, yeah.
That was, me and David were laughing. I feel like if it was anyone maybe but her, like you probably wouldn't have laughed.
I wasn't really laughing. I was not laughing. I was just like, whoa, like if you're gonna step out, like I need to get this under control first.
I was having a full blown.
I know, I saw.
I was like, hey, did David tell you about my emotional breakdown? And she was
I
like,
did not.
No, and I was like, good.
Okay.
Alright, let's do this.
Come on, Charlie, let's go. Yeah, I'll take it. All right, Charlie, come on, let's make some friends. This is pretty typical to what she does. No. Okay. No, that was nothing, right?
What happened there?
Nothing. She got, like, it looked like maybe he stepped on her or something like that.
She's sensitive.
Yeah, she let out a little bit of a squeak and then kind of got a little chompy. It didn't really look much different than anything.
But I think.
No, I understand. So hang on, let me. So just to proactively make sure I had control of the situation, I de-escalated them, right? I gave a no, I gave a correction for that. Really, really simple. That brought the energy level down a little bit, got everybody chilling out for a second. breather.
They both listened.
Yeah, and again, like in his case, yeah, he's had some training, right? So he's going to be listening in that type of a situation. So it's not going to work exactly like that, but at least you'll know you can get her to de-escalate a little bit, right? And I'm not telling them you can't play, right? Like the fact that they're just kind of like, all right, we're just going to like do our own thing for a minute here, right? That's fine, but that wasn't the expectation of it. I just wanted to see them bring it down a couple of notches, right?
Okay, so you can correct for them.
100%.
Without.
Yeah, but just don't be too much with it. You know what I mean? A lot of people, I'll tell them, I kind of say that gingerly because some people will take that to heart and then they'll be correcting them for everything while they're playing. It's like, we got to let them play still, You see again, energy level's down. She's sniffing around a little bit, right? But it's not as intense here. So then in a minute, they might go back to playing with each other and it'll be fine.
Yeah, so I guess this is what I was like alluding to,
Yeah.
super amped up, she's like jumping around.
Sure.
And correction, like now she's like kind of chilling out.
Like I said, you just want to.
This guy's not going to eat me.
100%. You just want to delay that correction as much as you can, right? If at all possible, your goal should be to not have to do it, But if it hits,
It's going to be trigger happy.
well, that's what I'm saying. You gotta manage it a little bit, right? It's not wrong to do it, like with my dogs. Like if they're playing too rough in the house and they're just annoying me, sometimes I'll step in and give a correction. Not because they're doing anything incorrect, but I need them to bring it down, And you see they're going back to playing with each other, but it's a little calmer this time.
I guess the other thing I have to realize is that she's not going to play with this dog all the time.
No, yeah.
She sleeps all day.
That's kind of it too. Like it's interesting when you get like a second dog. At first, they're playing all the time with each other. It's like the most exciting thing in the world, just having another dog in the house, and there's a lot of supervision and stuff that goes into it. But honestly, like our dogs don't really play that much at this point. They kind of just have their relationship with each other and lay down and hang out.
There was a neat story over the weekend when your dogs were just like running around the backyard.
Yeah.
They were just.
Oh, yeah. They're just excited, They're
independently just like.
occupying themselves. 100%.
Yeah.
No, you're totally correct. Yeah, there's the one I posted, I think, last weekend or the weekend before or something, And that's just kind of what they do, And Waffles, because he's new, like, they'll kind of play with him sometimes, but that's just because, like, he's the new guy,
Okay, so like.
And this is kind of what I look for when I introduce dogs to each other. Like, I want them to play and have their fun and stuff, but then I kind of want to hit this point of like neutrality. Like, if your dog is contingent on playing like 100% of the time, like it's not that it's bad, right? Like, it's them still figuring out the other dog, obviously, but I want to know they can do this too. So that's why, like I said, the corrections will help with that a little bit, de-escalating the situation and getting her realizing, like, when you hit this point where you just like can't control yourself anymore, like you got to focus back in. But a part of it is just going to be, continuing to expose her to dogs in a more chill manner, Sorry, what was the question?
Or like when she's playing and she's heading up, she thinks that like the other dog has like done something to her. I feel like that's
You think
just how I
that kind of
perceive
triggers
it.
her a little bit?
Yeah, so she's like, oh, I'm going to bite you, so
Sure.
you stop leaving me alone. And I don't want that.
No, I understand.
But she's like, then it's like she's an animal, so it's like, that's like literally their nature.
Kind of, right? So like, there's a lot of different like mentalities behind socializing. Like there's a lot of people out there that like preach heavy advocation, right? Which basically means the second you start seeing that your dog is stressed out, you intervene and stop the stressful thing, right? So I would step in and tell Russell to like back the fuck off, right? I'll do it sometimes, right? But depending on the dog I'm working with,
Oh, Jesus.
She's going to
Is that
what? Oh, that's somebody else. Yeah. But
getting spayed on Monday. I just got a text.
depending on the dog that I'm working with, like I know that if that's a problem of hers and she doesn't have an appropriate means of telling the dog to back off a little bit, I kind of need to teach her that,
She doesn't.
So I guess that's like what I'm saying.
So all I'm going to do is supervise it when it starts hitting that point. And then if it turns into something inappropriate, then I would step in and I would intervene. I mean, that's just kind of how she plays though, right?
Like that.
Like, when we let her in here, she was jumping around, chomping in the air and doing all that kind of stuff.
But now I feel like she's done.
And I don't think she's not totally done though. You know what I mean? Like, she's conflicted right now because she's trying to get back to you and she's pissed off that he's bothering her in those situations, but she keeps going back for more.
No, but is that like leave me alone, or is it?
It's hard to say. You know, you have to let it.
Doesn't have the growl reflex.
I know.
Just has
I know.
the chomp reflex.
I know. It's hard to say initially. That's why we need to let it play out to see. But you see what I mean? Like, she's going back, right?
Hey, dude.
That's what I'm saying. I think the problem here right now is not that she doesn't want to play with him. It's just she's concerned about what you guys are doing up there.
No, if anything, I feel like she's gonna want to get away from the puppy because the puppy's gonna annoy the shit out of her.
Well, that's. But what
Charlie
if
likes
it
to
annoys the
sleep.
shit? What if it annoys the shit out of her and then it chomp?
Here's the thing. When you get puppies, another big key with it is you have to set designated play times and designated chill times, right?
We're getting like a baby gate.
Yeah, so baby gates are really good for it to create some separation, obviously. Using your crate in general, like anytime you get a puppy, I usually recommend like a 2 hours in, 2 hours out protocol. Like, keep the puppy out for 2 hours, put it back in the crate for 2 hours, back and forth, you know. I also recommend designating times where your trained dog, you do a bed stay or a down stay or something like that for like 30, 45 minutes, and then have the puppy just on a leash, right? And you're essentially shaping throughout the day the expectation of you guys don't always need to be interacting with each other, right? But it's up to you guys to create those times.
Yeah, see, like now he knows that, like, okay, she's like.
And that's just it. And that's why I don't want to like proactively step in too much, is because they will figure that stuff out, you know? Like, nothing she did was inappropriate, you know? She just said, hey, get on my face, you know?
One just happened to be on Christmas Eve, and it was my sister's hand. The one before that was my sister's hand again.
Yeah. And like we talked about, every
like, those
single
were, like,
one of them.
Those were situations where my sister, she's never owned it.
I know, I get it.
She just like thinks that, okay, like dogs love to play. Like Charlie loves me. Charlie,
Yeah. Like I said, every single one of them, there's been a clearly defined thing that could have been done differently that would have helped the situation. You know what I mean? So it's like, I would not be that worried about it. You know, we'll get her in, we'll get the new puppy in the house, we'll start the process of socializing them together, and we'll be good.
Okay, so tell me, some days you're free the week of the 23rd.